Hi guys, I'm Samantha. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to start a new series on my channel called Throwback Thursday. Now I know that's not unique, but the idea I have goes with the hashtag. Let me give you a little backstory. I started reading romance novels when I was like 9 years old. I was sneaking them from my mom's room. When I was 13, I actually asked permission for the first time and read The Donovan Legacy by Nora Roberts. And honestly, romance has always been my favorite genre. It's one that I go back to all the time, and I have a massive collection from when I was a teenager, which was, let's do some math here. So I'm an English teacher, I'm not a math teacher, and even simple math stumps me sometimes. Let's see, 10 years ago? Yes, 10 years ago I was in my teens. I also didn't have big bookshelves when I was a kid, so I had those giant like under the bed totes, the plastic ones that you put your books, I put books in them, people put clothes in them, all sorts of things. Anyway, I had 3 giant totes like that. And at this point in my life, they've moved with me 4 times. 4 times. Now, these are books that I've kept because I love them. I read them over and over and over again when I was a kid. That brings me to the new series. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to blindly choose 5 to 10 books from the totes. Now, this isn't an unhaul. I'm not getting rid of any of these books, just FYI. Not getting rid of any of them. But I'm going to blindly choose 5 to 10 on a Thursday, once a month, until I've gone through all the books. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the book, who wrote it, a little synopsis. First, we're going to see if I can remember the synopsis without reading it. Most likely, I'm going to have to read it. Then I'm going to tell you when it was published. Now, these books aren't on my Goodreads because Goodreads wasn't a thing then. At least, I don't think. Maybe? I really don't think. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The first book that I have chosen blindly is Some Enchanted Evening by Christina Dodd. Now, off the bat, I don't know what this book is about. I'm pretty sure Christina Dodd is a historical romance writer. It's got a girl on a balcony. So I'm guessing, just from what I know of the genre, maybe this girl was caught in flagrante delicto with some lord? Let's find out. It says, once upon a time, in a kingdom high in the Pyrenees, 3 young princesses were forced to flee the chaos in their land. I'm real wrong. Vanishing without a trace and lost to their people until the day a courageous prince can bring the princesses home. Oh, this must be part of a trilogy then. I probably have all 3. One of Scotland's most dangerous men, Robert Mackenzie, is dazzled by the enchanting beauty who rides into the town he is sworn to defend. Though he is wary of the exquisite stranger, Clarice stirs emotions within him that Robert buried deeply years before. And now he must have her at any cost, vowing to gain her trust through the powers of his sensuous seduction. Torn between her need to protect her secrets and her aching desire for the dark, tormented Earl of Hepburn, Clarice is pulled into Robert's glamorous world, and into his perilous plan for justice and revenge. And with the winds of treachery swirling around them, a runaway princess must draw Robert's heart from the shadows and make him believe in happily ever after. Honestly, I don't remember this book at all. It's definitely a bodice ripper, right? It was published in 2004. That was the hardcover printing. This paperback was 2005. Sounds interesting. I might give it another go. That's number 1. Number 2 is Lord of the Wolves by Heather Graham. I think I remember this series, but like not enough to describe it to you. It was kind of like a Robin Hood thing. And I'm pretty sure a girl was kidnapped. Let's read it. She was the heroine of her people. With her extraordinary violet eyes, ebony hair, and ivory skin, the French Countess Melisande was a prize for any man. But the teenage hellion who rode into battle to defend her people belonged to the warrior who saved her life, made her his bride, then disappeared for years. Now Conar MacAuliffe, I don't know if I'm saying that right, had returned to claim his wife, now a ravishing woman determined to fight for her freedom at any cost. But the proud beauty who feared no man suddenly feared herself in the passionate embrace of the husband who vowed never to let her go. He was the mighty Viking conqueror they called Lord of the Wolves, a legendary warrior whose greatest challenge would come with the woman he was destined to wed. In the fiery Countess Melisande he would find his heaven and hell. Even as he waged war for her heart, he dared not yield his own. Even as he laid sweet seductive siege to her body, he tried to shield his soul. It would take a common enemy, a little trust, and a united front to awaken them both to a love that could change their lives forever. This trope is actually very, very common in historical romance. So basically the trope is girl wed to man at a young age, man goes off to war, woman grows into her own, man comes back to claim his bride, and she no longer wants to be claimed. So he basically has to like seduce her back to loving him. This, based on the author picture, looks pretty old. So this has to be a reprint. 1993. When this book came out, I was 5. I definitely didn't read it when I was 5. I wouldn't be surprised though if I read this when I was like 15. On to the next. Elijah by Jacqueline Frank. I know the premise of this book. I don't know Elijah's story particularly, but you'll notice it says the Nightwalkers up there, which means it's part of the series about vampire-esque people. In this series, they're called demons, I think, which actually has a really scary connotation, but they drink animal blood. Like, I think yak blood is like their favorite. I don't remember. And then this universe expanded to include other types of paranormal beings. So let's find out what Elijah's story is specifically about. Some feelings you just can't fight. He is known as the warrior captain, a master of every weapon, a fierce soldier sworn to protect his kind. Powerful, relentless, merciless, Elijah has always won every battle he's taken on. Until now. Ambushed by necromancers, he is left for dead only to be discovered by the woman who could very well deliver the final blow. Sienna, the lycanthrope queen. I remember this story now. I love this series, you can tell. I read it. Look at the breakage on the spine. I read it over and over and over again. With 3 centuries of warring, little more than a decade of uneasy peace has existed between the lycanthropes and Elijah's people. Now, after a lifetime of suspicion, the warrior in Elijah is consumed with a different battle, winning Sienna's heart by giving her pleasure beyond all boundaries. What starts as attraction and arousal soon burns into a passion with consequences that will echo through the ages for both their people. And as would-be enemies become inseparable lovers, another threat approaches, one with the power to destroy them all. I loved this series. I still love this series. I have all of them, although I'm pretty sure I stopped buying them, I want to say in like 2010, so there might be more. This one was written in 2008, or published in 2008. Before this one, it says that Jacob and Gideon came out first, which I have those two as well. Maybe they'll show up in another TBT. And Damien comes after this. So I do remember this. I loved these books, like I already said. My mom loved them too. I really should see if there's more in the series. Next, this one's a chunker. Desired by Virginia Henley. And just look at that cover. Look at it. I think this is a reprint of something that was published in the 80s. Obviously, it's got the like thing where you should be able to like open it and see a picture, but it doesn't have the picture, which usually means it's a reprint. Virginia Henley, I think, writes historical romance as well. Probably Victorian era. I was really into Victorian era romance. But this cover does nothing to make me remember what this book is about. Mesmerized by the dark night's turquoise gaze, Lady Brianna of Bedford tried to turn away. Oh, this is not Victorian. No, Plantagenet Court. I'm saying that really wrong. That's French, and I don't speak French. After she was betrothed to Robert de Beauchamp and now this total stranger, Christian Hawksblood, de Beauchamp's bastard brother claimed her with a soul-searing look. What was his mystical power that compelled her to abandon herself to this man she dare not even trust? Christian Hawksblood, Prince and Knight Templar, burned with memories of the beauty he first saw in a vision, clad only in a nimbus of red gold hair. Brianna of Bedford was his ordained by fate, but first he had to deal with his jealous brother, and then with Brianna, the innocent temptress who branded him with passion even as she compelled him to listen with his heart. This book is 440 pages long. Ooh, the last page, she calls him her Arabian Night. This, God, it's like yellow. Like the pages are yellow. So old. 95. This one was first published in 95. This is a reprint, it's gotta be. Sorry, I just got lost in like looking at this book. I loved books like this. I mean, I still do, but it's just, I got it at Borders, guys. Borders doesn't even exist anymore. I got most of these at Borders, honestly. The last one for July's Throwback Thursday is Pride by Rachel Vincent. I remember really liking this. It's paranormal. I think it's about a girl who can turn into like a werecat, but I don't remember if she's like a specific type of cat, like lion, or I think she's just a cat. Honestly, I remember buying this, I was super into paranormal at the time. I think this is the third in a trilogy. Here's hoping cats do have 9 lives. I'm on trial for my life, falsely accused of infecting my human ex-boyfriend and killing him to cover up the crime. Infecting a human is one of the 3 capital offenses recognized by the Pride, along with murder and disclosure of our existence to a human. I'm 2 for 3, a goner. Now we've discovered a rogue stray terrorizing the mountainside, hunting a wild teenage tabby cat. So she is like a normal cat. It's up to us to find and stop him before a human discovers us. With my lover Mark's help, I think I can protect the vulnerable girl from both the ambitious rogue and the scheming of the Territorial Council, if I survive my own trial. I think this is either the second or the third one. I really remembered this now that I'm reading it. Oh God, guys, this one had one of those things in it where like you tear it out and you can get like really inexpensive books. Look at that. Remember when those came in books? Do they still come in books? I have no idea. So this is the third one. I probably have the other 2 in the boxes. Oh, and it says there's a 4th one coming in July 2009. Probably have that one too. This was released in 2009. I love when reading synopsises. That's a question for the ages. How I can like start to remember little things about the book. I remember that in the one before this, there's a fight that I think takes place at like a grain factory, like with railroad tracks and train cars. I think if I'm remembering correctly, that happens, and that's when her boyfriend gets killed, or ex-boyfriend. Wow, guys, blast from the past. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It'll let me know that I should do more. Honestly, I'm probably still gonna do more anyway. Just because these books have such great memories for me. I was a hoarder, man. I hoarded my books to the point that like, it was ridiculous. I'm sure if you are a reader, you understand that aspect of hoarding. I also bought mass market paperback editions of books because they were cheaper and I was a kid. Please comment down below if you've read any of these books or what you think of me doing a series like this. Also subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you as part of my BookTube family. Thanks for watching. Bye!